Greetings, all greetings. Look out at the morning sky. See no, just clouds. That's where the mountain, you can normally see the mountain. And over this side right here. But uh, on both sides of us, you can see the mountain when the sun's shining. But today, clouds hang low. Yesterday it was the temperature was very high, between 35 and 40 centigrade. Kind of relax inside the house. Anyway, these are changes you gotta, you know, appreciate and prepare for. And as I see events unfolding, the things that I started warning people about are the things that are increasing because they have always happened. These things always go. Like I said, in cycles, and they will speed up, then go to what people feel comfortable with, you know, and not notice, and then again begin to happen again that everybody's noticing. The thing is being prepared. Like I said, it looks like it was going to rain outside today, but there's no rain. I said, look, occasionally it gets like this. 2 nights ago, it rained for about half an hour, and man, did we get some rain. So if you're out and not prepared for the rain, guess what? Ta-da. Uh, this leads me to my content, Africa. People who make videos, especially as expats, or they call them diasporans in Africa. They come to Africa and then leave. Some, come for a visit, see what it's like, and go back home, decide whether or not this is the place. And I always tell you there's a lot more to Africa than what you see when you go Lagos, Nairobi, Dar es Salaam, Morocco, and whatever city you go to, Fez, or whatever city you go to, and will it be Durban or Coast, South Africa or Ethiopia. People go and some people stay, some people go and travel around. That ability to move from place to place is good if you have it. But staying in one place in Africa, you're faced with a lot of things that you've never faced with before, and it can become overwhelming. And I've seen YouTubers say, "Hey, a lot of people are leaving," and they're giving the regular reasons, but then there are the reasons that nobody wants to talk about. One of them is the weather. The other is government policies that you would go like a place and then you go in, like Tanzania, you go to get a permanent visa. And the laws are on the books. You do this, do this, do this. And within a certain amount of time set up by the law, you get your visa or you get that turned down. But I'm just giving that example in Tanzania. You make your application, and somebody in the government, whether it be the guy who's got to sign the visa paperwork or a guy below him, it sits there on his desk. You didn't pay the extra money to him or his boss to get the visa. People are frustrated because you got to leave the country every 2 or 3 months, come back, and then when you come back to the airport or whatever you come to, there's the immigration officer again. Hand out. We'll talk about everywhere you go, something costs 10 shillings and the third charge you 50 shillings. They always leave out those. You'll be asleep in your house at night and you hear a noise and look outside, there's somebody walking around your house. You know. And then there's what they call in the U.S. juju, and the people who believe in that go from U.S. to Africa. It's all around you, and your fear level is going to be raised up to volcanic proportion. The food in Africa kills Africans. What do you think it's going to do to you as a diaspora who's accustomed to clean water to cook with, to wash your dishes with, take a shower in? What do you think it's going to do to you? And people who are talking about either coming to Africa or leaving Africa, don't talk about that. When you were, I remember in Brazil, I went to get together with some friends, and they made this drink. Well, it had all kinds of fruits fruits in it, grapes and blah, 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 so forth. I took some of it, and then, for about 5 minutes later, my body seemed to go into failure mode. It said, felt like I wanted to vomit. So I ran to the restroom as soon as I can. As soon as I arrived in the restroom, I just blacked out. My eyes are open, I can't see. And that's in Brazil now. What do you think is going to happen to me if I go do the same thing in Africa? So you have people who retired and go to Africa, and can't find the food that they're accustomed to eating in the US. African eats a diet that's high in starch. You got cassava, what we call edo in the West, rice, potato. Have you ever looked at what is in African food? There is something in the Gambia that they call oil. They put a liter of palm oil into a pot and cook it. They fry the vegetables and the meat or whatever, and they pour this oil over your rice. And it tastes fantastic. But when you eat this thing for any length of time, guess what it's doing to your kidneys and your liver? There are certain times of the year when you can't get vegetables. So if you're not diabetic when you get to Africa, guess what's going to happen? A year or two, you're diabetic. And you saying you came there healthy, nothing wrong with you, and then up and die. People think somebody did something with you, took juju on you or something. No, you got diabetic and you didn't even know it. The dust in the ear can choke you, and it's there all the time. Sometimes you may appear that the sky is clear, but if you get in the area, go by the beach and look out over the ocean, and you see this haze, look like a cloud, just hanging there. That's the dust. You never thought about it that you're walking around and everywhere you go, you see these. The land is cleared. You see people burning the bush. Guess what's in the air? All that smoke. You know. But people are not telling people about these things. You go back and watch my videos, and you see all of this information is there. I used to show you the amount of smoke in the air from people burning stuff, the amount of dust, even people with t-shirts wrapped around their head. Right after the rainy season, because after the rainy season now the air is dry. There's nothing, no water to keep that dust on the ground. You came from America where you walk to and fro. Come to Africa, walking on the street is hazardous. Crossing the street is like idea, death race 2000. And you may not think that your body is feeling this stress, but it is because it came out of an environment where it didn't have to deal with it before. It's just steadily increasing, and your body is trying to adjust to it. And you are not thinking that something is wrong because you're not feeling it. And then one day you just get sick. But then by that time, it may be too late. People, there's the talk about how Africa has the youngest, the age of average African is 20 something, 20. Why? The same environment that I'm telling you about kills off the elderly. When you get to 60 years old, you should see a 60-year-old African, except he's in the government. The average 60-year-old African in the village, see how he looks. But most don't go to the village, you stay in the city because it forces you to get everything. All the elders are dying because the food and the environment is killing you. And then there's no research or government don't looking to clean water, good food, good diet practices. None of that's taught. And the knowledge is there. UN got all kind of agencies in Africa, but you don't see an agency that deal with diet, telling Africans how to live properly. You see the LGBTQ, this women's rights, girls' rights, democracy, all the things that affect Africa in the way the Caucasian wants done, being preached, but not that healthy diet. So prepare yourself, you know what I'm saying? This that umbrella, and make sure you can take a trip back home. It's like when you're in the US, you will go take a trip down to the Caribbean, or you go to some other place in the US for a week or two. Why are you gonna go to Africa and sit in a house with 10-foot walls around you, barbed wire on top, 24/7, and think it's not going to affect you? Same way you take a vacation from in the US, take a vacation in Africa. I know the things that you run away from in the West is still going to be there, but you're going to be meeting more hazards in Africa, and you came to Africa. You don't have to go back to the U.S. You go to China, go to Southeast Asia, take a visit, a vacation. All right, wherever you are, have a great day. Look at that. Now, normally the sun is high in the sky and it's beginning to get hot. But look at this, a cool day. The clouds are now beginning to evaporate, the black clouds. But the white misty clouds are still there. It's what makes your sky look blue. Anyway, have a great day wherever you are. Now you're beginning to see the outline of the mountain. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace.